I've often said I like a plate of mixed biscuits. I like choice. On the other hand, sometimes I don't like too much choice. Paintings have too much choice. You don't like it, Pete? It's the sausage he likes. Here you are.
Rose, I can't believe that it's been, like, how many months since we last had lunch?
I think it's about 14.
14
At least,
months.
probably more.
And it used to be once every 2 weeks, once every 3 weeks we would
yes.
get a lunch between us. And you've now had your vaccine, 2 of them.
I've had 2.
But it's so nice to be back. And
No.
also it's been a crazily productive time for you because you've been making, basically uninterrupted, making...
That's exactly right.
One of my favourite paintings in the new show is of breakfast.
There's a spoon with that sort of thread, you know, it's called thread, is it? I don't know what it's called, decoration. I'll tell you what it was this little white line, which I didn't put in the painting because it got fiddly. That little white line, and that line, and then a black print. I thought, well, here's a subject.
It's one of the most beautiful
Why
paintings.
look for a subject?
But that's why we're having this conversation upstairs about painting from sight, not just from memory.
That's right, it was completely from sight. And also it's very close to me because I eat off that plate sort of every morning for breakfast. And it's about climate change if you want it to be, because there was so few fruit on it.
Let me get you some food.
I'm going to have some wine. I'm going to drink.
Okay, would you like a Scotch egg?
Yes, love one.
Retables paintings. I thought it would be nice to talk a bit about them because that's a sort of series of 5 paintings, is it?
6, I think.
6 paintings
I think 6.
in the show. But I just wondered how they came into your kind of vision, or...
I think, I'm sure you know that I like visual work that comes from cultures which haven't been overdeveloped. It doesn't matter to me about how it's painted, or what size it is, or the reason, but the painting is just so good. I just immediately like it, because they were untaught. A lot of the painters are untaught.
Yeah.
In fact, if a painter is taught, they're inferior. They just always are. It's the difficulty of choice and discrimination and aesthetic judgment involved in painting that I think is what matters. With abstract painting, you don't quite get that, which is why I go for figurative painting, because I think it's the most difficult to do. I just think it is. So why not go for the most difficult?
No, it's true. But I love the Retables paintings, and I love how they connect to both, like, a kind of traditional moral tale, like the butcher cutting off his fingers by looking at the girls.
Well, it's sex, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's religion. I mean, people laugh at it and they think, oh, well, you know, well, that's no way to run your life. But they're not about religion.
No, they're just about human stories and human
They're
rules.
about the paintings. I mean, they're funny as well, I think.
Yeah, they are funny. But tell me about the man holding the aeroplane.
Well, that is the closest to the Retables imagery. There's less transformation. This bloke, he was holding an aeroplane, and the lower half of him, below the aeroplane, was one size, and then there was the aeroplane horizontally, and then above the aeroplane, he was much bigger. It's like putting a stalk in water, you know,
Suddenly
how it's
gets
much
bigger.
bigger.
Yeah.
It was where the line of the water is. So there's this, I mean, in European get it right strictures, that's a mistake. But I don't care about that. This is what I thought was wonderful.
But you've always liked an aeroplane.
I like things that fly.
It's interesting.
I think I've said before, it's escape.
Yeah.
I also like a lot of legs, centipedes. I think they can quite perhaps run faster.
But I've always said you painted legs the best.
Like what?
That you paint legs better than anything, I think. I love the way that you paint
In
your
legs?
Yeah, legs and feet.
Yeah, hello. I like legs. Hello, Puss, do you want something off here?
Hi, Pete.
Pete has got short legs.
Pete's got short
Pete
legs.
is not an elegant cat.
But we have a picture of Pete, 2 paintings of Pete's. One
Yes.
painting of the
He's
big
got
Pete.
short legs. Not only that, when cats see birds,
He goes low to the ground and
down, and he's got a big head, and he's dark. So certain things, certain aspects of that painting are completely taken from Pete.
with your I'd Like to Be Under the Sea paintings. One is quite bare and minimal, which I love.
That was the first one. I remember the next one I did was a lot of pale green, and I like the figure on the bottom has definitely reminded me of Hadge. If a scene is outside, I often put grass. If it's in the sky, I often put clouds. You know, that it's sort of settling things. You put bits in which everyone can recognise and think, well, you know, that's the top because there's a boat up there.
But she's sort of just floating and swimming under the sea.
Yeah, they're under the sea. They're underneath. Yes.
You like aeroplanes, but you also quite like the sea and waves.
I like the sea very much. It's the edge.
The edge of
The land, the ground. You know, one
Yeah.
stops and the other starts, and they're very different.
the text within your paintings are not really text. I mean, they read
No.
as text, but they're also sort of
Doesn't matter what they
they're
say.
compositional structures.
Doesn't matter what they say.
No, it doesn't matter what they say. But I also like the way you
Also, they're chopped into bits often.
you leave a sentence halfway through it, or
It's
even
because
a-
I've
or a
covered it
letter.
up because there's something wrong with the painting. You cover it up and then you leave the original bit instead of removing it. So
That's
I
true.
quite like evidence of and progression in a painting rather than, you know, it just happens. I
Yeah.
think it's quite nice that you can see what's happened.
Let's talk about the pineapple.
Yes.
What
okay.
does the pineapple symbolise?
Nothing really. I like the shape of it. It was a pineapple I bought for Lizzie. Lizzie was home for the Easter holiday and she likes pineapple, and it was sitting on the table and she was drawing it and I was drawing it.
You've always wanted to see something in your paintings come out of your paintings and be extra big. Like this idea of the pineapple that started life as a watercolour and now it's ended up as a 3-metre
That's right,
bronze
it's like a
sculpture.
present for my daughter, something she likes.
That's nice.
Oh, it does have a meaning. I looked it up once. It says it stands in for a prickly woman.
But nothing about your art is about feminism.
No,
Or-
nothing to do with it. No,
No.
nothing to do with that.
No.
Each little division has a little hook on it too. I can see what, and they're very spiky, the leaves. Prickly woman.
A prickly woman.
But somebody else said it's fecundity and reproduction, and it's got a lot of meanings.
And which one would you go with?
No, I don't know. I thought the prickly woman was quite nice.
Yeah, it's quite good.
There used to be certain subjects which were not considered respectable for a proper artist to work with. Which is
Like-
why I did the opposite. I used to do the opposite. Chocolate cakes with little ballerinas on them.
Yeah, you've done ballerinas. Yeah,
Yes, on purpose.
of course. Also, Fluffy Head, the self-portrait.
Fluffy Head was quite funny. I mean, I was going to bed. I looked in the glass to go to bed, do my teeth. I'd got lipstick on and I had my glasses off. And I had this short, fluffy hair. My face was pale. My eyes are quite small anyway, but without glasses they're small. No makeup, no mascara. I thought this is a subject. It presented itself. So I came back from the bathroom and drew it. And that's how that came. I made drawings of it, quite a few drawings. And I made
But I
a
can't
painting.
remember a painting that size that's such a sort of direct self-portrait. But there's the Gangster Retables painting, which is interesting too. I love the way that the composition of the figure in the foreground is like a third unfinished.
One of them wasn't. That's because the drawing ended.
Yeah, in the original drawing it ended,
That's
so
right.
therefore
I wanted
once
to
you
keep to the truth of the drawing.
yeah.
So I thought, well, the drawing ends, so I'll end where the drawing ended rather than making it up or going on and painted the man's suit.
Yeah.
The Retables bloke in that painting had rather natty legs. And I painted them many, many times. And finally I looked at them after a gap and I thought, I don't like these legs. So I thought, well, what I'll do, I'll make a rough measurement of the leg, and I'll go to another piece of the studio altogether, and I will draw a leg of a trouser, and then I'll take it and I'll staple it on, see how it looks. And I did that.
So you went to a different part of the studio to draw the trousers
on a different piece of canvas.
On a different piece of canvas,
somewhere
so that
away.
You could separate yourself from what
yes,
you're. Yeah.
It's not. It's like going, to a shop, trying something, putting it on. Suddenly, there's a flash of a kind of excitement because it wasn't there before.
I remember when we first started working with each other, we were quite concerned for if you had time to make works for exhibitions, but now you don't seem to be, because, well, especially this year, because you've had so much time, I guess. But you've made a huge amount of paintings in the last year.
Well, there's absolutely nothing else to do.
I think you should go fluffy next time.
That stops the fluffy.
I want full fluffy next time.
It can get fluffy, it can just flop up. Fluffy.